Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, so today I'm bringing you the app of the month for November. Now I know this is a little bit late, and we didn't have one for October. There was a whole legal dispute. We recorded it and it didn't get out, so yeah, it was a whole legal thing. I could be making that up, but point is that we didn't have one for October. So here's the one for November, and just to make up for it, we're gonna have one for December, like literally the next day, or even in the next couple hours after this one is up. So yes, you guys have two amazing apps to look forward to. The first one is called Nova Launcher. So Nova Launcher is a really great app that I recommend for a lot of people, and I'm going to explain what that is. So let me zoom in for you guys so you guys can see what the icon looks like, and there it is. So it's Nova Launcher, okay? So that's what it's gonna look like, and so let me explain to you what a launcher is. A launcher replaces the home screen. So here, let me do it on the phone so you guys can see a little bit better. And I'm going to show you on a Galaxy S3. So first of all, you can see on my Galaxy S3 that I have a little bit of a different look compared to the regular Galaxy S3. If you don't know what it would normally look like, I'll show you right now. So I'm going to go like this. And this is what your Galaxy S3 would normally look like. It's basically this is regular TouchWiz. So you see this animation, it's a little bit different from what I was just having, and so that's the regular Galaxy S3. And now this is what the Nova Launcher will do. Ta-da! It looks a lot different, right? So I have an extra row, which you can customize how many rows you have. I have a Google bar always at the top, and it's very small so that it doesn't make my screen or icons look smaller. And I even have a side scrollable dock, I would say, at the bottom. Now, when you open up Nova, basically, so it replaces the way your home looks. And this is the simple way instead of doing what's called rooting. Now, rooting is a very techie thing that you have to be a tech to do. So I would not recommend it for anyone who is new to Android. But however, Nova is really good. Just simply for the fact that it's a simple launcher that changes the way things look, but isn't too techy. Anyone could really do it, especially after watching this video. So first of all, my animation has changed, and I can change that to whatever I would like. So how I go to the settings is actually just menu, and in menu I have Nova settings besides the regular system settings. So I'm going to go to that now, and this is a little bright. Okay, I think that'll look better. All right, so on here you can see I have a lot of different settings I could do. So we'll start from the top and we'll go all the way to the bottom. So for desktop, you have your desktop grid. Now, this is where I chose 5 rows instead of the normal 4, and 4 columns. Where again you can choose more if you want to. I didn't want to do that many columns. I just needed 1 extra row. So the big thing is for all those people who wanted the iPhone and were like, I want an extra row of apps. There you go. You got an extra row. Hey, didn't say I never did anything for you. Okay, bam, you got the extra row right there. So yeah, you can get an extra row of apps just that easily, and you don't have to wait 5 years for it to come out. You can choose your margin of how big your width is compared to everything else. I just chose medium, which is regular. You can actually choose large, which is the system default for the Galaxy. But since I wanted it to make it another row of apps, obviously I wanted to make it a little bit smaller, but not too small. You can do a persistent search bar so that it will always be available on any page of your home screen. And you can change the styling of it. You can change it to be like this or like this. And then, of course, in the home screens, you can show how many you want and which one's your home. Oops. Nova settings. Okay. And this is a really cool thing that a lot of you guys will like, which is scroll effect. You can actually change the way your screen scrolls. So if I wanted to do tablet, which I just like the best, I can do that. If I wanted to do cube, which is kind of like Sense, I can do that. So watch. So yeah, this is kind of like Sense, HTC Sense, HTC's interface basically. If I wanted to do, oops. If I wanted to do, what's another one I could do? I know there's one like the new LG one that's out. CardStacks is like stock Android on your app drawer. So I'll show you what that looks like. So let me zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see it better. So it's kind of like it's coming on top of it, basically, or underneath it rather. If you go that way, and if you're going like this, it'll be on top of it. So that's how the CardStacks work. And you can do revolving door, which we're just going to go through all of them just so you can kind of see. Oops. Well, that's the other app. That's the app of the month for December. But yeah, so you can do like this, which is interesting. I don't care for it as much, but you know, everyone has their own preference of how they like their different effects. That one's kind of interesting though. And then you have the flip, which is kind of like the same thing. And then you have the flip inverted, which is again the same thing but going the opposite way. Then you have the in and out, which I know this is another one. I think this is like LG's new one, but yeah, you have that one. And then you also have the accordion, which is another one. But yes, so pick the one to your heart's desire. I just like the tablet one because I'm more of just quick is what I want. So there's that. Then there's wallpaper scrolling, and you can do it so it's on. So what wallpaper scrolling is say you have a long wallpaper. So you have a long wallpaper, and it basically cuts it up so that you have, you know, this part of the wallpaper, then this part of the wallpaper when you go to that home page, and then this part of the wallpaper when you go to that page. So that's what wallpaper scrolling is so you have a long image, and each time you scroll, you go to a different part of the wallpaper. I don't need that. I just have a live wallpaper right now, and I don't normally care for that, but that's another setting you can do. Infinite scrolling, I really like that because I hate when I go to the end. Oops, sorry, let me zoom back in. Infinite scrolling is basically so when you go to the end that you don't have, that you can just go around. So what that means is basically if I go to this, if I'm on this homepage, I can go back around to the home page, and I don't get stopped at like the 5th page here, or I don't get stopped at like this page here. So it goes all the way around. So that is that. And you can display underneath, you can label icons or not label them. So if you don't want any of your icons labeled, Automatically, you can resize the widgets. Now, this is something normally in Android 4.1, or no, 4.0, sorry. 4.0, and now you can do it in there. Or actually, no, I was right. 4.1, 4.1. Widget overlay. I wouldn't mess with this. For those of you who really know what you're doing already, then you'll know what to do, but I really wouldn't mess with this otherwise. And you can also lock your desktop so that it will not be able to be changed or moved around. So if you like the way your desktop is and you know you're not going to change it, you can actually prevent it from being changed. Now in the drawer, you're going to see similar things. The first one though is, so you can do the same thing we did earlier, which is how many apps you have altogether, and how big the grid is. You can also do what kind of scroll effect. I do the card stack for this one because that's how I like it in Android. You can do the drawer style, whether you like it to be horizontal like this or vertical like this. And you can also set widgets in the drawer if it's supported. Now you'll read right here, it tells you requires root permission or system app. So the Galaxy S3 does not have it, so that when you go to widgets right after apps, so it will divide it like this, that you have apps and then widgets. So if I wanted to go to widgets, it's right here. Oops. If I wanted to go to widgets, right there. And if I wanted to go to apps, it's right here. So that's how that's done. And now we'll go back. And if you want to have groups within your drawer, you can do that too. And if you do that, the folders will be first. So that's another thing you can do. For your dock, you can do, again, a couple of things. For one, you can actually disable the entire dock. Two, you can make different dock pages. I made 3 just for kind of fun. I never really used the different docks though, to be honest. I just use the main ones because those are the ones that I use most. You can make it how big you want the dock. You can make it smaller or just leave it at the system default. You can do the height, how high you want it. And you can, again, just do the infinite scroll and the same kind of stuff that we had on the first one. Now, look and feel. You can change the icons or the color theme. You can also change the icon from stock or the default Nova one. So you can change that as you see fit. You can also change the screen orientation again to auto rotate. And this is pretty nice because you can even auto rotate on the home screen. So something I could not normally do on the S3 is auto rotate it like this. And now I can on the Nova launcher. So that's a really nice feature. And you can do lots of different things. So you can do your scrolling speed to be stock, the way it comes out of the box, or you can actually make it faster. And you can do really fast. So basically it's like no animation. So there's really no animation here now. It's just more fast. And again, you can kind of see how fast it can go by changing those kind of things. And it'll have no animation pretty much. So you can change that again to how you like it. I have it to be, you know, just the scroll speed. I have it for fast. Animation speed, again, I have everything fast. I don't need everything to be fast as light, just because I like a little bit of animation, but not too much. And all of these things you can do that. And Jelly Bean is basically how the apps are the quickest to close and open and all that kind of stuff. So, and you can also do just how your folders look like. So this is really nice. I like this a lot. So this is stock Android. This is how Android looks with the Galaxy S3, and this is on the Note 2. So I pick Fan. It's the newer version of TouchWiz. So also, if you have the 4.1 Jelly Bean on the S3, then that's what you've seen recently. You can also even change the platform that it's on. So normally TouchWiz, you have a circle now instead of a square. Now you can also have a platform or customize it however you want. So again, these are just the different things. The other thing you can do is also gestures. So as you can see, I have certain gestures for what I do. So for one, kind of being like my Note 2, I can actually hold this down for a while, a long press menu to do a voice search. So that's really nice. I can do the home button to do showing previews, pinch in, pinch out. So let me go over each one. So pinch in would bring up all my home menu. Pinch out, oops, wrong one. Oh, that is pinch out, I guess. But so you can do different things. You can do pinch in, pinch out, swipe up so I can get rid of the dock if I want. Swipe down, you can do what a double tap does. So if oops. So double tap's kind of hard. Double tap you would do on an empty space like this, and that would launch my Nova settings. You can also do 2 fingers up and 2 fingers down and what they do. So for me, I have my 2 fingers up, launching the task manager so I can clear RAM if I ever need to. And also I have 2 thumbs down to launch regular TouchWiz. So if I ever want to show someone just with regular TouchWiz or anything like that, if they had a question about it, I can show them right there. And then I can go right back to Nova Launcher right after that. So those are just some of the basics. I think that's about it. Just want to make sure for you guys, just answer any questions. The last 2 things, or actually 3 more things. One, this also has an add-on that is free. It's called Tesla Unread Settings. So it allows you to have numbers on your Gmail and everything else, so that when you have an email, like I think I do right now, see my Gmail icon has a number 1 on it to know that I have 1 email available. This also works for the stock email app as well. And second, you can actually import how your settings looks. And you can actually even, the really nice part about this is you can actually back this up, and you can back it up to an SD card. So say if you were to get a new phone, this entire setup would be saved onto your SD card, and that way if you got Nova again, you could actually restore it. So that's really nice. And it's just as simple as backing up. You can do the date, and now it's backed up, and it's backed up on the SD card. So that's really nice. And then I could always do restore, and it shows me the restore file that's in the SD card, and there you have it. So that's really nice. So that way you never have to customize how your phone looks again, because it'll be exactly the way it was when you last got it. And then the last part, of course, is how to set your default home. So let me show you. This is what will look like when you first push the home button, is if you will go to TouchWiz or if you will go to Nova. So what you're going to do is you're going to click this to use default, and it will be Nova. And so now, from now on, when I push the home button, it will ask me one more time if I want to go to TouchWiz or Nova. And now every time I push home, it will go to the Nova version of my home screen. Alright guys, so that was the app of the month for November, is the Nova Launcher, and you can use it on both your phone and your tablet. Now this was really nice because you know, TouchWiz was a little bit slower from my Note 10.1, and now with this Nova, it's moving a lot quicker compared to what it used to. So I really like it. It's really just upgraded my tablet a lot because I know it had a lot of power, but I wasn't able to use it before. So until I get Jelly Bean on here, I can use this and it makes up for it. So you can use this for both your phone and your tablet. And I do use it for both this phone and this tablet, so I really like it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. This app will run you about, I believe, $2.99 or $3.99. I forgot. I honestly got it when it was 25 cents. It was on sale. And I always try to tell you guys about those sales on Android 2.0, so if you haven't subscribed to that channel, make sure you do that. But every time there's a sale, I always tell you guys, go get all the apps, because you know what? To get 4 apps for 25 cents, you know, who knows if you might need it one day. And for this case, I did. So the regular Nova Launcher is free, but Nova Launcher Prime, which has you the capabilities to do a lot of things I did in this video, is the paid for version. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Hopefully I explained most of it. But please like and subscribe, and I will keep doing these videos for you. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.